Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Perfect 12 Directions. Now, the Perfect 12 is a very simple assignment where you get to choose your own grade and you get to enhance your vocabulary, both for the SATs, which are upcoming if you're college bound, or just for your own personal edification, because having a big vocabulary is cool, right? Knowing more words and being in a different way to describe yourself or express yourself is always a good thing. Now, again, the words that I'm going to be sharing with you in these various exercises are college-bound SAT prep words, so they're very important for you to learn, and they're going to help you out. So let's go. Now, the most important thing to know when talking about the Perfect 12 assignment, ladies and gentlemen, is you get to choose your own grade at the end of this assignment. So let's take a look at something very quickly. Allow me, hold on one second, to present to you. Hold on a second. Let me do this very quickly. Let's present a tab. Let's go up here to Perfect 12's directions. Hold on a second. Here we are. All right, now it's not the one I wanted to show you. That's not the one I wanted to show you. That's not the one I wanted to show you. Here it is right here. Okay, everybody, so let's take a look at this. You are now looking at the Perfect 12 directions sheet. So take a look, please. Perfect 12, how you're going to be graded. Now, if you want to get a 100 on this assignment, which I'm counting as a quiz grade, a 100-point quiz grade, you want to do 12 points worth of work. If you do 10 points worth of work, you get a 90. If you do 8 points worth of work, you get an 80. If you do 6 points worth of work, you do a 70. If you do 4 points worth of work, you get a 50. And if you only do 2 points worth of work, you will only get a 25 on this assignment. Notice there is no way you can get an odd number because it all adds up to even numbers. You'll understand what I mean. So take a look, please. You must complete these first 2 activities. If you do not complete these first 2 activities, I'm not giving you any credit at all. If you go on and do the following activities, the step 2 activities, without doing the step 1 activities, you're not getting any credit from me. You're getting a 0. Again, you must complete the first 2 activities. And what are those first 2 activities? 1, you must write out or type out all the words and definitions from the lesson. And you must also create 1 original sentence using each of the words from the lesson. So let's take a look at this. What is the lesson, by the way? With each with each Perfect 12, I'm going to give you a corresponding lesson. Here is lesson number 1, ladies and gentlemen. You should be looking at it now. As you can see, there are 10 vocabulary words. Now, as we move forward in the year, I believe it's lesson number 9, we will move up to 15 vocabulary words a week, and that'll be the most we ever have. But for those first 8 lessons, so up until around December somewhere, maybe January, we will be doing only 10 words a lesson for lessons 1 through 8. So take a look at these words. Number 1, abate, to lessen in violence or intensity. Number 2, abet, to assist or encourage. Number 3, abhor, to detest or to loathe. Acquit, number 4, to find not guilty of a fault or crime. So what you would do, ladies and gentlemen, is write out each of these words and definitions. Guess what I gave you? Well, I gave you a template. It'll be attached to each assignment. Here we go right here. So the Perfect 12, words and definitions. Notice there are 10 spots. You write in the word. So for the first one, I would come back here. I would go to the first word. Here it is right here. Abate, to lessen in violence or intensity. So I would come back over here and I would write abate, to lessen in violence or intensity. Boom. All right. Now, as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to create 1 original sentence for each of those words. So take a look. Let's go back to the sheet that we were just working on, onto the template. Here it is right here. So personally, I would do all the words and definitions first, and then I would come down to the original sentences. But some people like to do a word for number 1 and then come down to number 1 and make a sentence. And they might say something like, we did not go outside until the storm abated. Aha. And that's my sentence. So for this right here, for part 1, I would put in all my 10 words. And for part 2, I would give a sentence for each one of those 10 words. Very simple, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue. The next thing I would want to do, let's go back to our sheet, is once I have those 2 things done and I have 4 points. In fact, let me show you a sample very quickly. Hold on. Look at this person's sample. This person right here, they have their 2 points, right? They have their words and definitions typed out. And then there are their sentences typed out. There they go. Boom. So you see your words and you see your sentences. So what's the next thing we do? At this point, you would have 4 points. 4 points is only going to get you a 50 on this assignment. A 50 is not a very acceptable grade, in my opinion. It's not even passing. So how do we get to those other 8 points to make it a 12 and get 100? Well, let's look at step 2. It is now time to get more points, and you can choose any of the following. So for 2 more points, you could list 2 or 3 antonyms for each of the words from the lesson. For another 2 points, you could list 2 or 3 synonyms for each of the words from the lesson. In fact, let me show you this on my sample. Let's take a look at it right here. You'll see top of their page, they have their words and definitions for 2 points. Then they have their sentences for 2 points. Then look, they have antonyms. They have 3 antonyms for each of the words. Now, by the way, where do you find antonyms? On Google. Type in abate, antonyms for abate. Find 3 of them and type them in. You're good to go with that one. That part would be done. Then this person also chose to do synonyms, right? So they gave each word, and then they give 3 synonyms for each word. Same thing. Type in abate synonym in Google. Type in, it'll come up with plenty of synonyms, and then choose 3 of them and type them in, and then you are done with this portion. So check this out. At this point, this person here has 2 points for writing their words and definitions and 2 more points for doing their sentences. So they have their first 4 points done. Then they got another 2 points for their antonyms. Then they got another 2 points for their synonyms. So they are up to 8 points total. Let's go back to our sheet right here. What does an 8 point give you? 8 point gives you an 80. Now, unfortunately, some students are happy with an 80, and that's all they hand in. They don't care about getting the best grade possible. They are willing to give up those easy 20 points for whatever reason. Hopefully by the end of this year, that will stop if you're one of those students, because you should always want to get the best grade possible, especially when you have the ability to choose that grade by doing the assignments yourself. This isn't rocket science. Everybody here can do all of these assignments. It's a question of whether or not you want to do the work and you want to get the grade. So let's see, what else can you do? You can create you can create flashcards for each of the words from the lesson. You can do the flashcards on your phone, the digital flashcards, or on the computer, or you can do old school regular flashcards. Cut some index cards in half or pieces of paper into little squares and make flashcards. Take a picture of it, attach it to your lesson, you get those 2 points. Now, the next thing you can do, create a crossword puzzle using the words from the lesson. Now, if you're going to do and the next thing, look after this, is to create a word find. If you're going to do a crossword puzzle or a word find, ladies and gentlemen, use the computer one to do it. They have crossword builders, and all you do is type in the words, type in the definitions. They create the crossword puzzle for you. You attach that link to me or a picture of the crossword puzzle to me. I have to be able to see your crossword puzzle or your word find if you choose to do it. You can't just say, I did it and that's it. I need to see either a picture of it or the link, and I need to be able to click into that link or onto that link and go in and look at your crossword puzzle. Let's continue. Another thing you can do for 6 points is create a quiz using each of the words from the lesson. Now, the quiz cannot simply be define abate, define, whatever the words were, abhor. You can't do it that way, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to think, what are some other words? Define acquit, define abet. You can't. What you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is you need to create a real quiz, one that could actually be given in school. You could do a matching quiz, right? You could put one word, all the words on one side and all the words on another, on all the definitions on another, and they have to somehow match them together. That's not the best quiz. The best quiz you could probably do is a fill in the blank or a multiple choice quiz. So which of the following words means to lessen an intensity? A, abet, B, abhor, C, abate, D, I need one more word from the lesson, and that would be acquit. All right, so it's your quiz. You choose how you want to make out your quiz. Another thing you could do is create sketch notes. That's to draw a sketch that sums up the definition of each word in the lesson. If you are a good artist or you like to draw, why not draw what abate means in a sketch, how it lessens in intensity? Show a storm on one side and then the storm stopping on the right side, and you would put the storm has abated on the right side, and then you show that to me. What else do we have? Word research. I say research now, by the way. So for word research, you would list and explain one television show, movie, book, or song that relates to each word from the lesson. So for abate, you might say the people in Stranger Things did not trust that they were safe until the monster stuff abated, until the scary things abated. And then you could tell them that, and that would work for me. Words in the wild, I like this one. That you could search the internet for each of the words from the lesson, write down a sentence you find that correctly uses each word, and record the website where you found that sentence. So just find those words out there, highlight it, copy and paste it, and then next to each one, put a link where I can go and find it myself. And then, of course, a lot of very creative students like to do this. It can be fun. You can write a short story for 8 points, and that's writing an original story using each of the words from the lesson. It must be a minimum of 4 paragraphs. Does it have to make complete sense? No. It has to make some sense, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not going to turn around and then say, well, this is no good story, I can't publish this. No, guys, gals, it's about practicing with these words. So again, ladies and gentlemen, how do you do the perfect 12? First thing you do is you decide how many points you want to get. Then you do your first 2 exercises. You write out the words and definitions, and then you create an original sentence for each of those. That would give you 4 points. Then you complete any of these other assignments. That adds up to 12. So if I do 2 and 4, I could do another 2 to make it 6, and then a 6 to make it 12. If I do 4, I could just do an 8.1. If I do 4, I can do 2 4s. If I do 4, I could do a 4 and 2 2s. It's really up to you. If I do the 4, I could then do 2 other 4s and make it 12. If I've already said that, I'm sorry, but you're getting my point now. You decide how many points you want to get. Let's take one last look at our sample assignment so you can see it again. So this person got, let's count up the points together. They got 2 points for writing out their words and definitions. They got 2 more points for doing their sentences. They're up to 4. They did the antonyms, so they got up to 6. They did their synonyms. They got up to 8. And then they did a crossword puzzle, which is attached to this file. If I was to click this link, I could show you the crossword puzzle. Boom. And there it is. That adds up to 12 points. Notice, ladies and gentlemen, this person, and make sure you do this on your sample sheet right here, make sure you're telling me how many points you have gotten so that I know what you did. And then, ladies and gentlemen, you are done with the perfect 12. Now, the last thing I want to tell you about the perfect 12 is this. Every Friday, I'm going to give you a lesson. So on the first Friday that we do this, you'll get lesson number 1. The following Friday, I'm going to give you a quiz on those 10 words for the first 8 lessons. And when we get to lesson number 9, second semester, third marking period, I'll be giving you a quiz on all 15 words. So you not only need to do this exercise to get your 100 for your perfect 12 grade on the Friday that I assign it, well, the next Friday, I'm giving you a 100-point quiz grade on those 10 words. So you need to learn your words so you can get a good grade on that as well. Now, just so you understand the importance of this assignment, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do every marking period about 3 lessons, 2 to 3 lessons. So let's say we're going to do 2 lessons per marking period, right? That's 800. Well, let's see. Each lesson is 100 points, and the corresponding quiz is 100 points. So each lesson adds up to about 100 points. Let's say we do 3 lessons per marking period. That's about what we're going to do. 3. You know what? I actually think we'll do 4 lessons per marking period. So let's think about it that way. 4 lessons per marking period, ladies and gentlemen. Each lesson is worth 100 points. Each quiz is worth 100 points. So that means your first marking period grade, 800 of your points are going to be these simple assignments where you get to choose your grade and study for a quiz and get a good grade. 800 points. Your grade for this class is probably going to be about 4,000 points each marking period. So think about that. If the vocabulary, the perfect 12, and the quizzes are going to add up to 800 points of your 4,000 points for the marking period, ladies and gentlemen, that is 20%, 1/5 of your grade for this class are these simple assignments. Now, the quizzes won't be simple if you don't study and you don't do the assignments. So here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Those people who choose to do this to the best of their abilities get almost all, if not all, of those 800 points, and their grades stay great in my class. Those people who are lazy and choose not to do this assignment or not to do their quiz end up losing most of those 800 points, and their grades go down in my class. So you are seeing, and you're going to notice this about my class, that it is built up upon doing lots of easy assignments that add up to one big grade. You might not think the essay is easy, but I'm going to help you and make it easy for you. So again, do all of the assignments I give you to do, and you will do well in this class. Now, please remember, perfect 12. You choose your grade. 12 points equals 100 and down the row. And you must, again, stressing this, you must complete those first 2 activities or you're getting a 0 from me. After you complete those first 2 activities and you have 4 points, it is up to you to get your other 8 points. You choose which of these activities you want to do. Oh, and by the way, I am totally okay with people doing the exact same activities every lesson. You get into a groove, you like to do it. Hey, I like to do a quiz. I get good at making my quizzes, Mr. Kenny. By all means, keep doing it. I want you to do well. And if doing well is you doing consistent work the same way, go for it. Some people like to switch it around every week. Hey, last week I did a quiz. This week I'm doing a story. Next week I'll do the word finds and the crossword. And the week after that, I'm going to do my word research. Then I'll do word wild. Then I'll do flashcards, antonyms, and synonyms. It's really up to you how you feel comfortable, but just please get the good grade. Thank you very much, everybody. That is how we do our perfect 12.